Hey everyone, my name is Olaf and today I'll teach you how to make this exact animation in Blender. As always, it's going to be quick and easy, and if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments. So let's get started. Okay, so start off by switching from Blend Render to Cycles Render, then click X to delete the default cube, then add a UV sphere in Create, and then click S to scale up the UV sphere. And this will be the emitter, so add a new particle system. Set the number to 500 and the particles will only be emitted from frame 1 to 2. And then the lifetime to 7, so that the particles last for 7 frames. And then set the random value to 1. The emitter geometry normal sets the speed for the emission, so set it to 25 so that we get some speed, because this is an explosion. And as you can see, we have the sort of basic animation. And let's scroll down and set the random value to 8. To get some randomness to the emission. And then we need to deselect emitter because we don't want to see the sphere in the render. Now the next step is to add the smoke and fire, so go to quick effects and then quick smoke. Then click S to scale up the domain, then click S, then set to scale it on the z-axis, and then click G, then set to grab the domain on the z-axis. And this will be the sort of border for the smoke and fire simulation. Then select the sphere, go to the physics, and then change from smoke to smoke plus fire. And then change the source to particle system, and then the particle system to the particle system. Now for the sake of the smoke simulation, we need to keyframe the size. So set the size to 4, and then click I to keyframe, then go to frame 8, and then change the size to 0.5. And then click I to keyframe once again, and this is about the particles turning into smoke. When we go down to the timeline and play the animation, you will see that the resolution is really low. So we need to pause the animation, then right click on the domain, and then go into the physics and change the resolution to 100 for now. We might increase it later, and then set the temperature to 0.05. And then down in smoke flames, we need to go to frame 8, and then keyframe the speed. And then go to frame 13 and change the value to 0.1 and then keyframe once again. And then set the second value to 2.5, which is the smoke. And then when we play the animation, you will see what it looks like. And it's starting to look better, so let's save it before we continue on with the tutorial. Now to make the smoke simulation look even better, we can select smoke high resolution and set the divisions to 1. And then for smoke catch, we will only make the animation last for 60 frames. So set the end frame to 60. And let's select the lamp, make it into a sun, change the size to 1, and then set the strength to 7. And then click G to grab and R to rotate. And now we have the basic lighting. So let's add a background color, select the globe icon, and then make the background completely black. Then if you have a GPU, make sure to switch to a GPU. If not, just keep using the CPU. And let's try to play the animation and pause it, and then click Shift Set to see what it looks like in render view. And as you can see, we don't really have the flame yet, so we need to first save and then open a new window to get into the node settings. So go to the node editor and make the window a little bit larger. And then click Shift A to add a node, and the first one will be the emission. And the second one will be the attribute, so click Shift A and search for attribute, and then write in flame, which is very important, that you have flame in the name. And then make another one, which is the math node, make it into a multiply node, and then increase the value to 50. And then the last node we're going to add is the color ramp, and then connect the color to color, and then on the right side make it completely black, and then on the left side make it orange, which is the color of the flame. And when we click Shift Set, you will see that we have the flame. And when we go to later frames, we just play it from the beginning, get the whole simulation, you will see that we get both the smoke and the flame. I think it looks good, so let's save it one more time. When we work with heavy simulations like this one, it's important to save often. So let's change the resolution to 200 or maybe 150 if you have a slow computer, and then we will bake the animation. And this might take an hour or 30 minutes, so be patient. I speeded up this part, So now it's baked, and we can go into the camera settings. So this is what it looks like, and let's save one more time, and then remove the other window by dragging it like this, and then click numpad 0 to look through the camera, and then click Shift F to use the fly cam, and you move around with W, A, S, and D, just like in a video game. And you can turn gravity on and off by clicking Tab. And let's make sure everything is within the frame of the camera, and then make sure to increase the end clipping so that the range of the camera is longer. Okay, so now it's finally time to get into the render settings. So select the camera icon, then increase the resolution quality to 100%, change the end frame to 60, because that's how long the animation lasts, and then change the output and make a new output folder on your computer, which is where the final animation will be saved after it's rendered. Then select the folder and then give the animation a name. I'm just going to call it Toots, and then go down to sampling, and we only need around 40 samples. Now if you have a GPU, make sure to increase the tile size down in performance, but if not, just leave it at 64 if you only have a CPU. Now let's make a test render, and I will use the GPU. And after a few minutes of rendering, this is what it looks like. And I'm just going to make one more test render and see what it looks like when we have smoke. So move forward in time and click render once again. And I think it looks great. So now we can render out the whole animation. And to render out the whole animation, you just need to click animation, and it's going to render out the whole animation. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to subscribe.